Great. So I will start with the presentation. It's about our DevOps journey at Clarity.AI. Okay. So Clarity.AI is a startup that we bring all the information about the impact of the companies in the society, say environmental, social, and governance. So we present for the financial market, so we can make like a more ethical decisions. Okay, or at least this is our hope, and this is the thing that we are creating. I am the platform engineering manager at Clarity.AI, so I lead the platform area. And my idea with this presentation is give like some of the context about our journey and explaining what was our evolution in the last 2 years. Okay. So the context is that we are growing so fast. We are not a very large company, but we are growing fast. So these are the estimations for the next years. And also right now we are divided in different departments, let's say. These are the departments related with the product that we are creating. We have the product research and innovation, the data science, the tech and engineering, and the product chapter. So in this talk, we will talk about the product and tech and engineering. We know that we need to involve involved in the value streams to the data science and product research and innovation, but we are in the process, and this is one of the challenges that we have right now. Also, for context for this talk, for me, DevOps is for sure is not a team, is not a role, is not a team that maintains or operates other team services. It's more about like a culture and a way of organize ourselves around value stream and optimizing for the end-to-end flow. For me, the best or the definition that I like the most is this one from Jeff Humble about learning to work in small batches, creating fast feedback loops, enable cross-functional collaboration through the value stream, and developing a culture of experimentation. So with this context, I will explain our journey. So I just joined Clarity in 2020 April. It was a good moment to change company. And I find a company that was like all the team organization was like chapter or guild oriented. So it's one of the chapter, front end, back end, data engineering. It was like a team by itself, and we was starting to create in these squads. But in reality, inside this squad, there was like silos in the sense that we was dispatching the task between backenders, front-enders, data engineers, depending on the kind of the task. So at the end, it was generating like huge lead times, bottleneck inside these squads. And on the other hand, we have the SRE infra team completely separated from the rest of the company. Also, for example, something that it was curious to me was that the engineers report for the chapter lead. So a backender, all the backenders from all the teams report to the same backend lead, for example, or to the data engineering lead and so on. So right now the collaboration was more about tickets and also sometimes even the Slack messages, direct Slack messages asking for help and so on. So in this context, we have like a monolith. We was making release each 1 if 2 or 3 weeks. And we have like data releases also more or less at the same pace, 1 if 2 or 3 weeks. And we didn't have any kind of zero downtime. So at the end, we need to put like a maintenance windows during this moment, make like the deployment. And also we have like a high change failure rate. There was like a lot of hot fixes and a lot of problems. Inside of each squad, as we already commented, there was like these different chapters inside of these squads, and these generate like some internal silos. In the case of the SRE infrastructure team, we was doing all the cloud infrastructure. We was working as sysadmins, and something that was also important is that we was doing or working fulfilling all the corporate IT help desk function. Okay, and we have like a lot of work, but a lot of this work was not visible at all because it was like Slack messages, a lot of tickets, and we only have like 15 or less than 20% of the time for innovation, and the things that we was creating was not completely aligned with the product roadmap. So this was a problem. So when I joined, the first thing that I did was about trying to visualize the work for the infra SRE team, recognize all this neglected work, and analyze the situation. And with this analysis, that was making like some statistics from the Jira tickets in trying to force everybody to send tickets, at least to have like some numbers to decide or to identify the problems that we have. We start defining some goals and some basic principles. Okay. We defined the goals about reducing the platform basal cost. The basal cost, I don't know if you know the concept, but it's about all the effort that you need only to maintain the platform, even not doing any kind of changes. I don't know why, but there was like a lot of things that we was even working in the cloud, but it was self-managed in our cloud. So we have a lot of work only to maintain, update all the infrastructure that we have, all the software that we was running. And also another of the goals was to try to reduce the toil, because we have like a lot of work that didn't add any kind of value, and it only was for, I don't know, to survive, let's say. So we was all the time in firefighting mode, let's say. Okay, and the idea was to start reducing this platform basal cost, reducing the toils, to support the team scalability, and start aligning our roadmap with the product roadmap. And for example, this means that we stop some of the initiatives that we have, for example, because it was not aligned with the product roadmap, and we start defining some principles. No, in our case, our principles was about trying to buy instead of implemented by ourselves. So using managed services, and also try to prioritize, always simplify and removing unneeded themes. And one of the principles was about making everything self-service. Okay. With these changes, in the next quarter, we start to having some better collaboration with the squad that we have in place. We start to introducing the Team Topologies ideas, and I think that this was like a very good inflection point, because we start to having this conversation about what was the kind of the teams that we have, that we have like different kind of teams, that we want to have like a streamlined teams that was more end-to-end, more autonomous, and we have these platform teams that was supporting the rest through different kinds of collaboration, for example, with X as a service in the sense of API or tool or whatever that we make like self-service for the rest of the teams. We also renamed the SRE infra teams to start making this mindset change about changing the focus from how to evolve the infrastructure to how we can create a platform that fulfill the needs for the stream-aligned teams. So we renamed to Platform SRE. Okay, and we continue evolving, trying to using these ideas from Team Topologies, and we create like the first new team outside the monolith. These stream-aligned teams, the squad independence in the data platform. It was a very important team because it was created to revamp a failed project. It was very strategic for the from the Clarity point of view, in the sense that it was a team that is helping us to be completely independent from other data providers. So this was very important for us, and also was the first step to create a new area, the data platform area. Okay. The next step is that we create like 3 new teams. In this case, but this is one concept that is not in the Team Topologies, are these teams that are in green. that are more operational. It's not a concept from Team Topology, but this was a little bit different. We decided to represent with these green boxes. So we create the data operation teams, the data foundation, and the corporate IT and cybersecurity team. Okay, so the corporate IT and cybersecurity team, it was like an inflection point, because at the platform level, it allowed the platform SRE to remove some of the toil that they had and start to having like more capacity to innovate and to create new things. The data operation, it was also very important for the data platform, as in the beginning there was no data platform area, and at the end it was like a mix of things that we create like several years ago and have a lot of technical depth, and we have like a lot of toil for operation. So this team was the first one that started to reducing the toil in the data platform, and also start an initiative to make the data more self-service, let's say. And also we create this data foundations team. It was a platform team with the idea to create the foundations for this data platform. But the reality is that in the beginning, they was paying like a lot of debt that we have in this area. But right now it's like an important piece that is creating the fundamentals for the whole data platforms, okay? And another thing that happened in 2021 in the first quarter is that we have an initiative to rethinking the squad. This was like a very important inflection point in our journey. They say that we reduce the chapter functions, all the responsibility that the front-end, back-end teams have. We reduce all of this. We change the name from chapter to wheels. We start changing the reporting lines, in the sense that the engineers report to the team leads in each one of the squads. So, because in the past, the problem was that the engineers sometimes have like some conflict, because they report to their chapter lead, let's say, for example, they are a front-ender, they report for their chapter lead, and not all the time the goals was completely aligned with the goals for the squad. So with this change in the organization, it allows us to have like a better cross-functionality. And I think that it was a very, very important inflection point. The next one was that we introduced the acceptance criteria. And this was important because it made very clear that the ownership was complete for the squad, in the sense that they need to have the responsibility about the scalability, operability, and performance of each one of the services. In the past, it was not completely clear, this ownership, and also from time to time, all the people was expecting that the platform SRE was in charge about the scalability or the reliability of these services. No? But the idea is not that. The idea is that the platform SRE provide the tools or also help to design this solution, but is not the responsible of maintaining and operating, or about the operability or scalability of these services. Okay, so this was another very important inflection point. The next step is that we create a new team in the platform area. That was the platform developer experience team, the platform DevX. The mission for this team was about support and boosting the development of ClarityAI product. It's important that the way of doing that was about reducing the friction for the product development flow, making very easy for the teams to make the right technical decision and create this platform that we was talking about. And also, this is it is not very common for a developer experience team, but we also put in the mission the goal about promoting best engineering principles and practices. That in our case, we understand this as DevOps, fast feedback loops, quality in, these kind of things that are very aligned with the DevOps mindset. Okay, so I think that this is the structure right now for Clarity.AI. We have this area about the SaaS with all of these teams, and we have the data platform, and with this structure, we are capable to grow within that at least to double the number of the teams without any kind of problems. So right now, the monolith, it's already improved to have like a one release per week with zero downtime. We have one data release each 2 weeks with zero downtime for some modules and without a maintenance windows for others. We reduce a lot the change failure rate. But this is for the monolith, but for sure for all the new services that we create in the last 2 or 3 quarters, we create outside of the monolith, so they start having like zero downtime from the beginning and on-demand deployment from the start, let's say. And regarding the team structure, right now we have teams that are more end-to-end and have more ownership. We need to improve this even the ownership even more in the sense of being like more end-to-end, including data science and product and research. Okay, so this is one thing that should happen in the future. Regarding the self-service use cases, right now, each one of the stream-aligned teams is capable to create new services with some friction. It's not a great solution, but it's working. They can make the deployments, also make configuration changes, and for sure they have a product for monitoring, logging, and observability. In the past, platform SRE was the one that was creating the dashboard, the alarms, this kind of thing. Right now, is each one of the squads or the stream-aligned teams, the ones that are creating this kind of infrastructure. Okay. And regarding the platform area, following these goals and the principles that we defined when I joined, we migrate to managed service. For example, we go from COPS self-managed Kubernetes cluster to AWS EKS. We also change our monitoring system from ad hoc monitoring with Grafana, alert managers, and Prometheus to Datadog for monitoring, logging, and traces. We also migrate the databases to MongoDB Atlas. Also, we make some simplification and removal, deprecating all services and associated infrastructure. We also simplify a lot the YAML roles and permissions and improve the monoliths and pipelines for the pipeline and the release system for the monoliths. And also we create a platform bot that we are using to give these self-service use cases, in the sense that when someone in any one of the stream-aligned teams require like temporal credentials to access some databases, or to reset or change the AWS credentials, or make deployments, database migration, or make like basic operation for Kubernetes, and also even report like a production incident. So this is a Slack bot that we create from the platform team to make self-serving some of the processes that in the past required that they send us a ticket, we implement the thing or make the change that they require. So we was just in the middle of the process. So with this platform bot, we was capable to allow the rest of the teams to be self-serve, for this kind of use cases. And for the future, I think that we have a structure that is capable to absorb more teams. So right now, these teams in red are teams that we are thinking about creating, but are not created yet. So perhaps this is the structure for the end of this year or even for the next year. Okay, and we have several ongoing initiatives about improving the ownership and in the inventory. We are identifying all the artifacts that we have, tagging all of them, and creating some tooling around these artifacts and this inventory. We have also an initiative to increase the release frequency, and we are creating a talent acceleration programs with that will explain and train junior people in extreme programming and product and DevOps mindset. Okay, so I think that in the future we will have like more people that have this mindset, so we will be capable to evolve in this direction even faster. And we have an initiative to introduce an internal developer platform that right now this initiative is on hold because we have like other priorities, but in general, I assume that we will restart this in a few months. And so that's it. This is the evolution that we have in the Clarity.AI in the last 2 years. Okay, and this is the expected future regarding the organization. So now some references, some books, and some blog posts that are related with the basal course that I commented, and also this fighting complexity is a blog post about all the changes that we did in the platform in the last two years. And also this talk about developer experience is about this platform DevX team that we create the past year. And I think that's all. So, and for sure, by the way, we are hiring, as I assume that everybody in this session. Yeah, questions?
Eduardo, it was a nice presentation. Always good to see other people how they arrange the teams to tackle a specific problem. So I was a bit interested in how you moved from having like receiving some tickets and you implement the changes or the features needed to having a self-service system. Do you have like some quality controls in place so that imagine other teams cannot create infrastructure freely, right? Or they have that freedom?
Not right now. They don't. I will assume that they don't even have the permission at the AWS level right now. So we are like 70 in the tech team right now. So it's not a very large company. So it's not as difficult to control that if we were, I don't know, 200 or 300. So right now we didn't need anything to control these kind of things. My idea was about making very visible all the work, redirecting the people to create the tickets, and with these tickets I start to identifying what was the 80-20, let's say, what was the real problem and the bottlenecks, and we start creating the tools for these concrete problems. Very simple tools without few sophistication. And we also start this initiative to migrate to managed services. So at the end, we was providing like a better product, I don't know, for monitoring. We are not capable to develop Datadog by ourselves. So at the end, we make some wrappers, some glue code to make easier to use these kind of things. But yeah, I think that was more or less all. From time to time, we have like some people that was trying to make like a different solution for these kind of things, but in this case we was trying to help go there. Okay, what is the problem that you are trying to solve? And we, if they have like an initial idea, we even help them to create this idea or to evolve this idea. If we have like another one or another solution, we try to propose another thing. But we was not trying to force everyone to follow the same rules. We was trying to make very easy to do the right thing. So right now, for example, the monolith release process in the past was so difficult. We didn't remove the old way. The only thing is that is have so much friction that you prefer to use the new one. But we was not removing the old way, for example.
Okay. And was it easy to change like the company mindset from, okay, the SRE team implements features to, okay, they build the platform and we implement it?
It's not easy, but for example, my superpower is to be very talk about that. And also, for example, when someone come with a problem and say, okay, this service have a failure or have a problem in production. And we say, okay, so you are saying that your service is failing in production? Can I help you to solve your problem? Or to always with this kind of messages. I also bring people to the company that have already this mindset. So we generate like a critical mass of people that was aligned with these ideas. And yeah, it's not easy to describe how do these kind of things. It's more about sending the message all the time with a lot of patterns. Nothing special, but very repeating the message all the time in all the forums, for everything, and also asking about the product and the product mindset, and trying to use the same mindset for our teams. We also make a lot of interviews to our own, to different colleagues, and send surveys, these kind of things. So I was acting also like some kind of product manager for all the teams in this area.
Okay, and the final question. So do all the teams have like the capabilities to influence other teams' backlog? How do you manage like inter-teams dependencies?
This was the most difficult one. I think that I am very aligned with the VP of engineering and also with the other area directors. So, but from time to time, we need to stop some of the initiative. This is one of the motivations that we have the internal developer platform on hold, because we see that not all the teams have the same capacity. We didn't have the same priorities at the company level. Doesn't make sense, so we stop at least for some months. For small things, from time to time, we have also some kind of ambassadors, people that we know that have like more, I don't know, more that they like this kind of problem. So you comment with these people to see if they react, and sometimes you wait until this person from another team propose this solution inside their team, and in this moment you say, okay, this is my opportunity, and I change my priority to help this team to make one change that at the end is good for the team and for us, or in general for the company. But very opportunistic, and sometimes is the most difficult thing to do.
My curiosity was, how do you know that you were going on with the right path? You mentioned that you have that regular surveys. Did you have any other metrics or other ways to tackle if you are indeed the transformation were bringing the outcomes that you were looking?
We have from time to time direct interviews with the rest of the engineers, but also one thing that, for example, in the platform DevOps team they do is to save a screenshot of all the reaction in the Slack channel when we release something. No, and you see like some people very excited about some of the things, so we get the reaction. But it's not like a very scientific method, but we are very lean in our approach. So we do as less as possible. So we try to go for the impact and not implement anything else, and try to see what are the people that are excited with the thing that we are developing, and develop to fulfill the concrete needs and nothing for the future. We remove some of the things that we have in the past for a potential future, and we remove some of these. For me, is waste, but we don't follow any kind of very strict process. Only we have like concrete meetings each week with the IT leads and with the general team to present things and to seek for feedback.